This is going to be a 6-inch thick beam, 10-foot long beam. I'm going to cut off that last, this was 11.5 feet. The board that I had for my first cut to make it a level cut was only 11 foot. So the last 6 inches I kind of dipped as the chainsaw mill went off the board. I tried to hold it up, but I couldn't. So you can see there's a bit of a dip at the end. Other than that, this seems like it's pretty level. I'm going to cut it down to 10 foot. I'll probably cut off each end because there's a bit of a dip on this starting edge also. I think next time I'm going to try and have a longer board. So if I run it 6 inches past on each end, I'll have something to rest the mill on and then get it started level. But yeah, for the Joncutter, the G5800, it was barely able to keep cutting through this. Granted, it is quite a bit for a 60cc saw to do, to cut this 11-foot length, especially when I set it for a 6-inch deep cut, because that's a lot of weight that it's pushing through. But it made it. I'm surprised. Didn't even use a tank of gas. Took me probably, I don't even know how long. I'll have to look on the camera, but it was only a couple minutes per cut. One thing I can say is sharpen your chain on the saw before doing it. I sharpened it, but I should have sharpened it a little more. You can tell by the sawdust it was producing. I should have, maybe my rakers need filed down a bit also. But I'm just using your standard chainsaw chain. I know that if you're going to mill with the chainsaw mill, you should have, I believe they call it a skip chain. But for maybe 10 minutes of cutting, this made a 6-inch thick. I'm just going to leave the two edges as is, so it's going to be a 6-inch thick, and it's about 10 inches thick, so that's plenty for a beam. More wood than a 6x6. Now it's a 10-foot beam. Okay, so I just want to give my thoughts on this Joncutter G5800. It's their 60cc saw. I want to give my thoughts on how it handled milling with the Alaskan Sawmill. I wouldn't want to, if I was cutting, let's say, all the wood for a cabin somewhere remote, I would probably try and get something more powerful, just because it does take a while to get through. You can feel that it's missing the power that it should have, especially if you're cutting something thick. If you're cutting long wood, and this is only about a 12-inch wide, but where's the tape measure? It's 10.5 on this end, and it was 12 inches on that end, so which is pretty much the max cutting. You can do up to a 13.5. Well, at least with my chainsaw mill, I can cut up to 13.5 inches wide with this stock bar that came with the Joncutter. So you have to factor that in. You won't be cutting 18-inch trees or anything, so it'll handle 13.25. It wouldn't have the power to do anything thicker than that, I don't think. So it did It did this, I'll just call it a 12-inch log. It cut through this, it was 11.5 foot long. Took maybe 5 minutes each pass. So it is definitely doable, but I don't know if I'd want to run it all day long cutting logs this size. If you just need to make some beams, or like what I'm doing, I'm making this beam to do for the mechanical room off the back of my cabin. So if you just need to make 1 or 2 beams, yeah, it's fine. It'll easily handle that. If you guys enjoyed this video, then give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, and click subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be doing a lot more. I'm going to be milling some more beams with this saw. I have a steel 066, so I might, if it's a larger log, I might switch it up to the 066, but I'm going to be milling up some more beams, and you can follow along as I finish this cabin that I'm at and I get started on my other cabin. So make sure you click subscribe, and thanks for watching.